Good evening. Good evening. I'm gonna make this very quick. Mr. Like Hawking moved down to live there for me. I talked to the other guys here. When Mr. Deuce gives you 10 minutes, you're gonna make sure you get those, better be around 9 minutes. He ain't no big guy, but he mean what he says. So I definitely appreciate that. I can go on and on about this, brother, but I'm gonna keep mine real short because, what a parent told me a while back, if you're constantly working for God, you don't have to say much. Folks know what you're doing. So I'm not going to stand up here and take up much time, but Mr. Dukes is an awesome guy. There are several things that stand out to me, but the one that stands out the most is when I lost my job. Things on this earth that we don't know about. If we just keep living, we're going to find out about it. Or just losing a kid, losing a parent, losing a job, losing whatever it may be. The way that we grow is through going through stuff. So Mr. Dukes is one of the toughest guys I know. And I often tell him it is a blessing to sit beside a man and shake the hand of a man that was able to stand when so many wanted to sit. What type of man is that? How does his handshake feel? What do I see in his eyes for a man that will speak out on the truth when others are telling lies? I see it in Mr. Duke, so I see Dr. King. I even see Carmichael. And Carmichael, although he was for violence, he stood for something. When I shake his hand, I feel that. And I look at myself and I see the path that I'm going in my life. I didn't choose this. I was chose to do it. And it hurts sometimes, sacrificing, losing things. But Mr. Dukes, you did it. I read both your books, and your second book touched me so because although folks were reading it to pull out different names, I got something different from it. There was a white man that kicked you out of his restaurant because he was following his peers. I don't want you, Mr. Dukes. If you eat in here, I'm going to lose my friend. He kicked you out. But God is good. Because years later, when you left, you came back to Madison. That white guy saw you uptown, found you, said, Mr. Dukes, I'm sorry, I hope you forgive me. So it's about forgiveness. There's no black and white. We all make dumb decisions. But can we own up to him and say, I'm sorry. I was following the masses. I didn't know. I really love you. But if I shake their hand, I'm going to lose some of my friends. That part stood out to me. So I teach my children, never what I do, just forgive people because you don't make mistakes. Sometimes that tongue slip up a little bit. We can't grab it. It's already out there. But it's okay to say, I'm sorry. Rewind. So I lost my job as a breadwinner 3 years ago. All I had was God. So I carry my kids now. No matter what you see folks do, you always trust in God because He's going to be the one to stand with you when all else fails, folks turn their backs on you. The only one that's going to stand. Folks, got 3 minutes left, sir. Folks are going to talk a good game. I learned this. But a lot of them don't care about you. They don't care. And the closer I get to Christ, the less tolerant I am of foolishness. The closer I get to Christ, the more I can see folks are not doing what they say they're going to do. So I feel you, Mr. Duke. I know I hurt you so bad because the ones you think will stand are the ones taking the seat. So I love you. I love you. And I respect you so much. But I called this guy, Mr. Dukes. God put it on my heart. I want to start a business. I don't know where to start it. I got the vision, but I need help. This guy drove all the way down from Miami to my shed, to my man cave, and sat down a whole day. Took me through what I need to do to start a business. This man right here did that. Now, I have asked God in Madison County your response? What, are you afraid of me? Yeah, I love my wife. I want to be faithful to her. I love my children. I love my community. I rather allow my walking and talk louder than my talking. So are you afraid to mentor me? I need to grow as well. This guy traveled from Miami to see about me. And I love you for that. My children love you for that. Everybody in a black and gold shirt love you for that. Amen. Good news, support goes a long ways. We love you, Mr. Dude. Stay blessed, sir.
Doing? All right. I apologize for my tardiness. I had another speaking engagement this morning in Gainesville, and I got another one at 4:30, so back in Gainesville. So I was glad when Mr. Dukes asked me to come and be a part of this. There was no way I could refuse because of the kindness that he showed me in my life. And so I did prepare something on paper because I'm a bit long-winded. I figured if I write a script, I'll stick to it and get out of there. I even got a timer. He gave me a certain amount of time. Just want to share a couple of things. I asked some of the young men that I work with, what do you know about Carter G. Woodson? And it was like, Chris Carter, he got a son that he played for the Vikings, and he got a son that played for Ohio State. And Charles Woodson, he won the Heisman. And I said, no, Carter G. Woodson, yeah, those guys, they play football. And it kind of stood out to me to let me know something, there's a legacy that has been lost. There's information that hasn't been transcended to this particular generation. And I said I would take the opportunity just in case somebody didn't know about Black history and why we're here today. In the 1900s, Carter G. Woodson, at the age of 19, enrolled himself in high school. He taught himself the fundamentals of arithmetic and English. And he was a coal miner in Kentucky. And what he did, he enrolled in high school. He graduated in 2 years. He went on to attend the University of Chicago, ended up getting his PhD at Harvard University. But what he realized in the process of getting this education is that when he looked at his studies, he didn't see anything about people that looked like him. He didn't see anything about our heritage, our culture. And so what he decided to do was start an organization. He also launched a journal called the Journal of the Negro History. And as a part of this, he launched something called the Negro History Week. It was a week to just honor African American history in America. In 1976, President Ford, Gerald Ford, signed a document that stated that it would no longer be a week, but it would be a month. We observe Black History Month. So that's why we're here today. We come here every February and we celebrate this particular moment to remember the things that, what he spoke about. Remember the things such as people like Mr. Dukes who led some of the sit-ins right here in this particular city. And so we're here today, but I can speak about all the things that we've heard about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman. I can tell you about those things that we know about. But it would be robbery and a despicable mission of mine if I didn't acknowledge the condition of our race and our culture now. Okay, if I just told you those things just to heighten your emotions for the moment and give you self-gratification, but fail to acknowledge our condition right now. And so if I could say something to you today, it will be that I'm here to launch what I call a socially domesticated investigation of our race. Okay? And somebody stole our jewels. When I look at it, when I look back on history, something happened. Somebody stole our jewels. Tell your neighbor, somebody stole our jewels. Tell them again, say, somebody stole our jewels. Now, what do I mean by that? Young people, I want you to hear me closely. See, it took a mathematical concoction to build the pyramids that no mathematician to this day have been able to unravel how they were able to do that. When you look at the slaves that traveled over the waters, there was a jewel in their heart that gave them the will and the determination to endure, to come here. There was a jewel in their heart that trickled from their hearts to their veins in their hands that helped build this majestic land that we call America. okay, that was in their fingertips, that picked the cottons of this land. That was a jewel. It was the same jewels that got fed up on the bus, the same jewels that got fed up at the lunch halls. It's the same jewels that got fed up with the disparities of education. It's the same jewels that mobilized the feet to march all over this country for racial equality, that got tired of the disparities. Okay, but something happened. Somebody stole our jewels. Somebody stole the jewel of the village that we say it takes a village to raise a child. But now the head of that village finds himself incarcerated in prisons all over this country, that now the young man don't know his way because he lacks self-identity. Somebody stole our jewels. And it needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be acknowledged today. So what happened? Where are we now? Why can't we advance on rulings such as Brown versus the Board of Education that gave us and demolished separate but equal? But now our generation, this youthful generation, we turn that to equal but imbalanced. Instead of being proud to sit at the front of the bus, we go straight to the back. Instead of being proud to sit at the front of the classroom and hear the instructions coming from the teacher, we go to the back. Instead of being able to memorize those linear equations to build those pyramids, we rather memorize a verse and a rap. Okay, somebody stole our jewel. I'm here to launch that investigation today. So what is it going to take? You know, I'm a person of hope and belief, but I can't ignore the voice of statistics that tells me that my African American race, we're at the bottom of the totem pole in almost every category that would define success. Okay, when you look at socioeconomic status, we're the most poverty-stricken race there is in America. When you look at percentage, we have the highest disparity of earning a high school diploma. We have overpopulated the correctional facilities with the highest percentage of disproportionate minority contact. Even right here in this county, Madison County, 3 years ago, had one of the highest disproportionate minority contacts in the state of Florida. What happened? Where is it? Where is our generation going? Why when I say Black history to our young men, the first person they say is Dr. Martin Luther King? Is that all we're relegated to? Are we only relegated to a month when I live as a Black man, 365 days a year? Why do I only get a month of this history? Somebody stole our jewels. What happened? But I'm here as a hope. I'm here as a person with hope running through my veins, saying that we must restore. We got to find that diamond in the rough. I look at Barack Obama. He's that diamond in the rough. That when Dr. Martin Luther King stood in the March on Washington, that he looked and he saw Barack Obama being elected as an African American president. I believe in a person like John Odyssey Green II, who father died when he was 17 years old, but went on to graduate in an international baccalaureate program, went on to the University of Florida, became a dentist, a Black dentist, and now is a lieutenant in the United States Army, and he's 31 years old. That's the jewel that needs to be restored in our community. But as this man here said, I heard a couple of minutes ago, he said, you know, the work that he did. Well, guess what? Madison County had his jewel, and it was called the Johnson-Brinson Project Center. And I stand here today as a product of that center. But see, it meant a little bit more to me. You saw those videos. Many of those people came and they got an opportunity to enjoy the activities at the Johnson-Brinson Project Center. But see, circumstances had it in my life where, for a brief moment, I didn't have anywhere to stay. Here in Madison, Florida, I was from Gainesville, and I was sent here, and something happened. I ended up living at the Johnson-Brinson Project Center. Okay, I stayed there for 3 years, and Mr. Dukes, no relative of mine by blood kinship, but by heart kinship, took me and he became my father. He taught me how to forgive. He taught me the essence of love. He taught me how to pull my parents up. He taught me how to expand my vocabulary. Listen, he taught me the importance of NASA. He took me to NASA. He taught me the importance of meeting somebody such as Naeem Akbar from the Florida State University. He, as a punishment, he made me learn the entire I Have a Dream speech. Not from I Have a Dream, but 500 years ago. And this particular speech I'm reciting tonight when I go back to Gainesville. Thank you for making me learn that. You saw all the different races. He taught me the importance of cultural diversity and what it meant that our society was weaved of a fabric of races. and the importance of bridging together. And if you listen to some of the speeches of Dr. Martin Luther King, even in that speech on Washington, he acknowledged our white brothers and sisters that was there with us, even in that time, because without some of their dollars, the movement couldn't have been funded. Let's just be real. So I'm going to get ready to end. I'm going to sit down because I am long-winded. I am a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I can go all day. Okay, but I look out on the audience and I see my brother, see my big brother, I see my first cousin, Marcus Hawkins, my other first cousin, Marvin, Mattain, and all the great work that they're all doing here in Madison. I see many of your faces. But I tell you this much, we must believe in our younger generation. Okay, we got to get rid of the mindset of the Mercedes and the Lexus and the BMWs and pick up the mindsets of a Honda. Okay, in other words, the race is not given to the swift, but to he that endures. And we know that a Honda Civic can last us a lifetime. In other words, get out of that mode. Get out on the street corner. Stop criticizing the young man for having his pants pulled down and ask him, where's your mother? Where's your father? Do you understand where you come from? We must stop criticizing and reach out to this generation. Take them downtown to begin to fill out applications. Take them to the health department to get the proper documentations like a social security card, a birth certificate, things that we take for granted. Begin to reach out, step out, help, so that they can step into this reality that we call society and survive. That's what we must do. That's how we're going to restore the jewels of our society. And what did the Johnson-Brinson Project do for me? Well, I got the opportunity to become a man. If I don't accomplish anything else in life, if you don't see my face on the television screens, if I'm never famous, well, guess what? I did the ultimate thing. I became a man. Okay? I became a man that understood what the village meant, that as a man, I must be the priest of my home. I must love my wife unconditionally like Christ loved the church. Okay, I must stand up and teach my daughters that you are a queen, as I hear my cousin Marvin Mattain talk about it in the books that he's written. You are a queen. Don't subject yourself, don't relegate yourself to ignorance. There's no board that can give you anything right now. You go to school and get your education. That's my job. No other man will be able to teach my daughter that. They'll know. Justice Jewel and Journey Alexander will understand what their last name means. And 2 days ago, God gave me one of the greatest gifts that I could ever imagine. He gave me a son. And my wife is not able to be here because she's there with my son, John Wayne Alexander III. He is a part of legacy, my legacy, his legacy, and the work that we've done. And now as a young man, I stand before you here today. I promised this man that when I became of age, I would get back. I wouldn't become so large and I forget where I come from.